to the grid where David Coulthard is there. What news do you have, DC?
Well, it's early, it has to be said, Susie, and the cars are not here at the grid, and as we mentioned, a number of them go through multiple runs, and I think part of that here is a short lap, and they want to get as much heat soak into the car as possible. Start-finish line is actually slightly behind where the pole position men are, so that's all that matters this afternoon. Things to remind our viewers at home, we have quite a transition in elevation. If you look down the grid towards the back, where we're going to have Fernando Alonso lining up at the back, Daniel Ricciardo, they're actually in the point of the grid where they'll be able to sit without covering the brake. That's the flattest point of this grid. And then as you work your way back up towards where I'm standing right now, between Nico Hülkenberg, who's just come to the grid, and Daniel Kvyat, this is starting to rise up now. Then you have to cover the brake to make sure they don't roll backwards. They should be more than capable of handling that, but it does mean that you get a slight offset in the starting procedures. We see a rather bottlenecked procedure to get onto the grid here. It's because the start-finish line is actually somewhat lower than the actual racetrack itself. I'm just going to wander in as Lewis Hamilton comes forward. I see Mr. Ecclestone here. I'll see if Bernie, is it possible to have a word?
Yes.
Now, some fantastic developments going on here in Brazil. We've got this new pit complex, so you must be quite happy.
Yeah, it's a little bit late. We were going to do this 5 years ago, but better late than never.
Okay, and well, we seem to have a bit of a Mercedes dominating the weekend, so it's from an entertainment point of view. I'll just move you back so you don't get run down with a Ferrari. It'd be a brave driver that ran you down, wouldn't it?
Well, let's wait and see. Be nice. Be nice.
Be nice indeed. So, predictions, you've written the script, so what's going to happen this afternoon?
I think Nico's going to win. And nothing wrong. Lewis will be doing what he knows. It's just a case of you know better than anybody. Who makes the best start here?
Yeah, it's crucial.
The pole position isn't a good place to start.
Okay, right. Well, we thank you for that. Thank you very much. And right, that was Kimi Räikkönen, who's been promoted up to fourth on the grid due after a penalty for the Williams car. I'm just going to go over and see Nico Hülkenberg, who's stepped out of his car. Oh, actually, Kai Abel from RTL has jumped in there as well, so this might be a small moment. So, right, what other things do we need to look out for in Brazil whilst we wait for Nico in the background? I think he wants to speak to BBC before RTL.
Are you both live now?
Good to know that Nico would want to prioritise the BBC. Right, while we wait for him, because this is his best qualifying for some time, so he's set up for a good opportunity this afternoon. The Force India fast in a straight line. That may give him an opportunity to pick off Räikkönen. We've got Daniel Kvyat just getting out of his car. I'm just going to wait with Nico a moment before I wander off, and then I'm going to see if I can get some of the other drivers. They're under a little bit of pressure today, a much shortened grid procedure before they have to line up at the front of the grid. We can, I don't know if Ian's there, we can check out Kai Abel's rather funky outfit while we're waiting. He's the most colourful man in Formula One. Apparently, Eddie Jordan uses him as inspiration. And he's also one of the greediest men in Formula One when it comes to asking lots of questions. But he's just given me the wink, which either means he's about to finish or he likes me. Dankeschön, Dankeschön. So, Nico, you've got a big smile. You had a great qualifying, so you're set up for a good afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, we're all set for a good afternoon. The car performed really well yesterday. We made a big step from Friday to Saturday, so quite confident that today should be okay as well.
So you can get stuck in around Räikkönen into the first corner?
I don't know, I'll try. I don't know how he gets off the line. We'll have to see how I hit it this time, and you know, from there onwards is racing. Obviously, got a few quick cars behind us that we need to try and keep behind.
Okay, thanks very much and good luck. Right, we'll just pop out the back, Ian, if we can. See Valtteri Bottas, who served his 3-place penalty for overtaking under a red flag. We'll just see if he's up for a line. I can see Daniel Kvyat over there as well. And then behind, we've got Max Verstappen lined up. I'm not sure how long this conversation is going to be. It's very important that the driver touches base with his engineer, even though they're pretty confident in their setup. What they want to do is just validate where they are on full tanks. And we can see the armband of remembrance, which Valtteri's putting on. Valtteri, your thoughts ahead of the Grand Prix? Obviously a little bit of frustration in terms of getting the penalty, but your underlying pace has been strong.
Yeah, the pace seems to be good, and you know, I'm not anymore worried about the penalty. We're starting 7th. Everything is possible today. I think we have a good pace on the prime tire, so looking forward to when we get to change to that one.
Okay, well, we wish you luck. I won't take too much of your time. So I'm just seeing Max Verstappen taking a walk here. I'll take a little run. Max, sorry, I'll walk with you. Really enjoyed the insight to you reflecting on your season earlier in the weekend. Another good top 10 qualifying. You've got an opportunity to get yourself finishing the year in the top 10 in the championship. So any particular concerns ahead of the race?
It will be very hard for the tires, and it will be very difficult to see how many stops you have to do. Will be between 2 or 3. So yeah, it will be a very tricky race to manage the tires, that's for sure.
Well, you're pretty good at managing tires, so that means you're doing 2 stops then.
We'll try to do that, but we also have to anticipate a bit on what other people are doing.
Okay. Who are you actually thinking you're racing this afternoon? Other than your teammate, who can you get in amongst?
Well, for sure the Lotus cars will come to the front, but normally we should be quite close to the Force Indias.
Okay, I'm going to hand you over to Martin. He knows a thing about racing. Right. Just making my way. Right, I'm just hearing that Carlos Sainz is being towed back in to the pit lane. So that's not so good for Carlos Sainz. We're just hearing your sister team, Toro Rosso, Carlos Sainz is being pulled back into the pit lane. No concern for you particularly, but for the Red Bull group, that's not a good start.
Yeah, it's a shame for him, but I think he's going to have to start from the end of the pit lane. Sounds like he stalled on the practice start, which is not usually the driver's fault.
Yeah. Okay, and for your race this afternoon, Daniel might be a bit vulnerable to the Williams straight line speed?
For sure, but hopefully we can get a good start, because I think we got the pace in the middle sector to pull away if we can get a clean first lap.
Okay, well, wish you luck with that. Right, so all the drivers, as we can see, it's getting pretty busy down this end of the grid. We've got everyone moving to the front. We've got about a minute left before we're going to go to a minute silence for the World Day of Remembrance for road traffic victims, and that's also has become a combined minute of silence for those who tragically lost their lives in the events in Paris a couple of days ago. So the emotions, as you can imagine, at this time will start to rise, and the drivers will try and maintain their focus as Ian makes his way there to show the drivers lining up in the position. And we can hear Jean Todt there is embracing Kimi Räikkönen, and we can hear the black armband being worn by Jean Todt. And this is a very important moment for all of the divers coming together to show their respects. We'll leave you with your thoughts.